Alrighty, folks. Hello, everyone. I am Von Yvonne, and I'm joined here by Ghoul02 and Corvime. We are going to be taking you through this finale here of RPG Limit Break 2024. Just to give a quick breakdown of what we're doing here, we're going to have some words coming up from our staff and from the management here at RPG Limit Break. They always have some messages they like to share, and then we get the testimonials from the crowd. We have a lot of people to talk about, what Limit Break means to them, what NAMI means to them, what the community means to them, and it's always great to hear that. It's a nice sounding board. But then again, there's also going to be a section here, and I told you this before, there is going to be a section where there is going to be some pretty heavy content that might be a bit sensitive for those of you out there. If that is the case, we will give you ample warning before that comes up so that you are not caught by surprise with anything there. Ghoul and May, I'm going to get some thoughts from you in a little bit after we hear some testimonials here. So everybody just sit tight here. We're still getting things set up, and then as soon as I get the green light here, we're going to toss it on over to the staff, and they're going to have some words to share with you. But I mean, while we're waiting for that, boy, what a finale, huh? That run was ludicrous.
I'm shaking like the game was at the end.
It inspired. I was shaking because I didn't know I had that much lung capacity. I'm a professionally trained singer. I did not know I could do that.
At one point, you kind of tapped the table, and I was like, oh gosh, oh gosh, oh gosh.
The hype kind of just took over, and I almost had like an out-of-body experience there for hosting that finale. But man, I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. That was a fantastic moment, and and again, we've said it before, but we can't say it enough. An enormous thank you to all of the viewers out there, everyone there in Twitch chat and YouTube chat. Hi, YouTube. Not only in the VODs, but live. Hello. All of you came in with some incredibly generous donations all week long. I'm looking at the total right here. $88,100. That is just a fantastic amount. And again, y'all made it happen all week long. Thank you so much. And we can't say it enough.
No, I mean, so for context, I did the interview with Michelle from NAMI.
Oh, yes.
And actually, one part of the interview that I ended up cutting for time was she mentioned it's about, I think it was $5 to $7 for every single time they do an outreach or whatever. Yeah. So think about, $88,000, $5 to $7. Think how many individuals we have helped over the course of this week.
I mean, it's well over 10,000. I mean, that's the size of a decent sized city. Yeah. I mean, it just, and we talked about before that 1 in 5 Americans report that they have dealt with some sort of mental illness. And if we can provide, if y'all can provide with your donations to the National Alliance on Mental Illness, that outreach, that support that those folks need, it makes such a huge difference.
And like 1 in 5 again is such a you start thinking about it like in context. Yeah. It's like we laugh in Fire Emblem if 90% that 80% people don't have that. The 20% that could be your mom, it could be your sister, and everything else. And it only really has to help one person for this money to be worth it.
Absolutely.
And the fact it isn't just one person. NAMI helps so many people. The money goes so far.
Yeah. And you know, and while it does help those, you know, with the mental illness as far as the resources there, it helps those that are friends and family of those that are suffering with mental illness as well, because it allows them to recognize, you know, a big part of what NAMI does is that awareness, is getting that out there, erasing the stigmas and whatnot, breaking down those walls so that the family and the loved ones and the friends and the co-workers and the classmates and whoever that are encountering these folks that are dealing with some sort of mental illness, that they can encourage them, that they can point them in the right direction to get some resources that they might desperately need. You know, so yeah, it's just, you know, it's just a really heartwarming feeling to be so involved with this event all week long, year after year. You know, I know you folks have just like me, have been here for several of these events, and just to, it just, you know, it's tough to put into words, honestly.
Been here since the first one?
Yeah, exactly.
Will not be changing, hopefully.
Yeah, I hope not. Yeah, I hope not. So, and well, I tell you what, while we're getting set up here, and in fact, I'm just getting the thumbs up that we are all set up. So, everybody, we're going to go ahead and toss it back on over to the main room, and we're going to be hearing from some of our staff here at RPG Limit Break. Go ahead and take it away.
All right, I'd like to call up all the staff to the front. General staff, general stores, and Poxel first.
Well, hello everybody. My name is Poexel. I'm co-founder and co-owner of RPG Limit Break, along with a number of other staff hats I wear, like being the business manager, the games committee lead, and the Twitch and YouTube channel manager. And like I traditionally do at the end of our events, I'd just like to give some thanks to a lot of the incredible people that helped bring this event to you. So I'd first like to thank Rob Westman and Michelle Vaughn from NAMI, great charity partners, and helped us with setup and teardown. It's always our pleasure to put on these events to benefit NAMI in the cause of mental health, which means a lot to so many of us. I'd like to thank Cool Maddie and the staff of Games Done Quick for just giving us a lot of kind of behind-the-scenes help and advising as far as kind of logistics and technical setup for our marathon. I'd like to thank the organizers for the Japanese and French restreams for working around the clock to bring our marathon to more parts of the world and make it more accessible. I'd like to thank the Yeti for doing shirt promotion for our event and donating the proceeds to NAMI as part of that. I'd like to thank the staff of the Doubletree Salt Lake City Airport Hotel for putting up with us for a full week. I'd like to thank, well, all runners, commentators, and volunteers. Way too many to name, but every one of you helped make this happen, helped make that number in the lower right corner of the layout happen. So yeah, it's great. I'd like to thank everybody that donated a prize to our event. We've had so many cool prizes, like ranging from that Buster Sword over there to those cute plushies to just so many cool things that all generously contributed by a lot of people. And then I'd just like to thank our individual staff members too. I guess starting with our tech staff too, we have Heroic Spirit Gamer, who's our kind of overall tech director. Then just the other members of our awesome tech staff: Ashen Prime, Miria, Rizliu, The Sid, Hoishin, Takaze, Freddy, Natara, Amazing Toaster, and Fant. We had some challenges this year, definitely, between like the power and internet both going out, among other things, and our tech staff helped us get back on our feet and finish out the event and raise the money for NAMI. So let's give a round of applause for our tech staff. And also thanks to Jay Hobbs, who's our website admin, and Takaze, who's our main tracker admin too. We had to we had to make some last-minute upgrades to the tracker to fix some bugs with it, which then we found out that introduced some more bugs, which we then had to fix. But Takaze did great work as far as helping us get all that resolved without really ever having to take the tracker down to do any major work once the marathon started, and that's great. Then I'd like to thank our volunteer coordinators, Bob the Ninja Goldfish, our overall volunteer director. I mean, let's give Bob a round of applause. And we definitely all wish he was here, but even though he couldn't make it in person this year, he did great stuff remotely as far as kind of helping, because RPG Limit Break is an almost completely volunteer-run event, so without volunteers, we would not be able to make this happen. Then I'd also like to thank the individual volunteer role coordinators. We have Alec K47, Dowolf, Ghost Kumo, DJ Tifa Hart, Austin, Janot, Vanivan, Gar, and Mizuki Bara all kind of coordinate individual sets of volunteers and did a great job with scheduling and doing orientations for them. So let's give a round of applause for all of our volunteer staff coordinators. Then I'd like to thank our game selection committee who worked with me to pick the games for the event, make a schedule, and then our work didn't end there too. We had daily meetings all week to kind of work on pricing and opening up the incentives and kind of just keeping an eye on everything just to make sure that all the great fun incentives and bid wars that everybody had for their run were kind of used in order for as much benefit as we could for raising funds for NAMI. And my fellow members of the Games Committee are High Spirits, Gyre, and El Magus. Then I'd like to thank our safety team for kind of working 24/7 to make our event a safe space for all. And that's Wells, who's our safety director, Quistacular, Grimora, Gar, and Dragondark. One of our newer staff members, CC23, for helping with venue logistics, as far as working with our hotel partners. Ghost Kumo, who's our general community support staff member. Amberly, who's our new prize coordinator and did a great job with coordinating all of that. LLK, who did a lot of our amazing artwork, like these badges that are always a treat, along with our promo banners and everything. Thanks to Oro and Hoishin for the amazing layouts for our stream, and then the tech behind them in order to kind of connect it to the tracker to get the donation-related stuff all automatically updating. And I'd like to thank our interview/content team, Ghoul02, the interview coordinator, Nitara, Fant, Vanivan, Ghost Kumo, Corvame, and Steamed Hams with Cheese. Because not only are they do they do the interviews and kind of other interstitial segments during our event, but we also, as some of you may know, we also launched our own bi-weekly podcast on the channel during our off seasons, and Ghoul and the rest of the content team has been doing a great job with that as far as bringing on guests from the RPG speedrun community to talk about interesting things, usually about twice a month. So make sure to, if you're new to our channel, make sure to keep following and keep an eye out for that. And then lastly, thanks to the RPG Chick for helping with volunteer training materials for the past 2 years. Definitely appreciate that. So yeah, let's have one last round of applause for everybody that helped make this event happen. All right, and with that, I think I'm ready to hand the microphone over to my partner in crime, Heroic Spirit Gamer.
All right, hello everybody. Hello. First and foremost, I want to give special thanks to everyone here and online for once again turning my plushy prize into a thing beyond itself. I definitely appreciate all the means with that this year. I want to start by giving special thanks to our sponsor for this year. My role for this year kind of upgraded a little bit. I'm typically co-owner, tech director, but this year it also turned into sponsorship director, and so I did a lot of outreach and a lot of work trying to get that coordinated. So special thank you, absolutely special thank you to Deck 13 and NIS America for their contributions this year. Alongside that, I also want to give a thanks to Fourth Wall. We're not sponsored by them or anything like that, but they did offer us an invite to their store recently, and so we do have a Fourth Wall store now. I'm not going to take any artistic credit for what's on that store, but I did leverage our existing assets to put too many hours into figuring out how to put it onto those clothing items, and I do intend and hope to make many, many more. I've already gotten I don't know how many requests to shove LOK's artwork onto various different things, so we're going to see what we can make happen with all of that. I know that my partner in crime here has already called out a number of our staff. I want to give special thank you and attention to those who really put in the work this week. First and foremost, Ash and Prime. For those of you who don't know, well, those of you who were not here mostly, internet went out. Ashton was on duty. We had to have someone take over for him as he ran around trying to figure out how to get a phone plan to shove into a temporary router to give us an internet plan. And by the time that got in place, the hotel net was back. But all the same, it gave us an extra probably, 10 minutes, I'd say, before that came back. So all the same, thank you very much, Ashton. A lot of this would not happen without you being our on-site coordinator for all of our belongings in tech and figuring through that pre-events that none of us else have access to. So just thank you very much. We do have a number of new staff this year. They were included in Puexel's previous speech, but we have CC on Hotel Coordinator, Amberly on Prize Coordinator. We have both Steam Stands with Cheese and Corvin for our interview team. We have Amazing Toaster right here beside me, now on Stage Tech. A coordinator. Miria has upgraded to being a console consultant, so she's still here, just not in the same role anymore. And we also have now Natara on audio. So thank you to all of our wonderful members who have been putting in the work worthy of being staff and now have the roles to reciprocate that honor. Puexel mentioned it a little bit. I want to go a bit more into it though. We do have what we're calling our side quests now. It is year-round content that we're producing. To date, it's mostly just been our RPG Limit Breaks podcast content, which Ghoul and our wonderful content team have been putting on regularly. We also have Random Encounters, which is intended to be either new game releases or just showcasing a game for one reason or another, or sponsored content. We have other plans in the future, if you like D&D especially, hopefully sometime. But and more to come, hopefully, in theory. So please look forward to all of that. And then one last thing from me. This one's going to be a bit more of a tough one. I know that a number of our community members have been affected by this. So the state of Utah has chosen to make some decisions in recent months. Unfortunately, by the time that occurred, we already had a contract in place and couldn't really manage to move anywhere else. So we were still here for this year in the state of Utah. As a result of that, CC, our new hotel coordinator, is very hard at work looking at various different states and where we might be able to move to. I cannot announce anything in that regard at this point in time. All I will guarantee is that we are not returning to the state of Utah moving forward due to the uncomfortability that the new state laws are applying to too many of our community and attendees and everyone involved in everything that we do. So yeah, with that, I think we're ready to move on to general staff. Thank you very much.
General staff wants to come up.
Oh, that feels good. I would like to just thank all the attendees who are keeping us here and keep giving us a place to go back to, our viewers, and most importantly, the donators. It's hard to speak, but you guys have made a world of difference for so many people, and there's really no words for it, but all I can say is thank you guys. Thank you for giving so many people a place to become themselves and become their best selves. And you can too.
Right. Oh, any other staff like to come up and say a few words?
Hello, Alec 47 here. I'm the donations coordinator. I also just want to say a few brief words. I want to thank all the people involved in this community, my fellow staff, my fellow just random people hanging out in the social room doing puzzles and board games, people watching the stream, chatting, who contribute to this event in any way, whether it's sharing it with people you know, donating, anything like that. This has been one of the best and most fulfilling things in my life since I helped found Limit Break way back when. It's getting close to a decade now, and we're still going, and I can't say how happy that makes me. So big shout outs to everyone who is involved in just keeping this going, because it means a lot to me. I know it means a lot to a lot of other people as well. And we want to keep doing this. And then finally, just a shout out to my donations volunteers, who once again made my job quite easy this week, even despite a tracker issue that persisted throughout the event because it wasn't safe to fix. So thank you for being good at what you do and just knocking it out of the park. Cheers.
All right. Next, we have Freddie.
Hello. There's the camera. So I guess, let's see, where to start. I have been here now since almost every year. I missed 2 years, but since the first Limit Break in 2015, and it's been a lot of fun to see it grow from the humble beginnings into what we have today. The tech, the people, everything has grown so much. I wanted to take a second to make sure to thank the runners for everything that they have done to help make sure every run they did was fun, fantastic. Likewise, everyone that came to commentate and helped with commentary. It was very, very fun to watch a lot of the different runs that I don't always necessarily get the chance to watch throughout the year. So you can best bet anything that I missed, I will be watching on YouTube later. So other than that, I skipped the part where I don't get on camera very often, if you haven't noticed. But yeah, having come through over the years, this is now my second year as head producer. I have now reached my ultimate form of producer, just for now until I give everyone their badges back, but maybe I'll keep them. We'll see. Okay, Gamer will let me. I also wanted to make a few special shout-outs. First, I would like to shout out Ghost Kumo specifically. The last, I believe, 3 nights in a row, he has pulled all-nighters, helping cover for roles, cover for commentary, and just generally be a huge help. And I know many of us here cannot appreciate that more. So thank you for that, Ghost Kumo. I would also like to thank my lovely wife, Telly. I been a pleasure to bring her here the last couple years, and she's been able to help out more and more, and just can't have asked for a better wife and someone to join me on my adventures here. So, love you too. Yeah, that I'll get out of the way and let Ashton, I believe, take over.
All right. A couple of quick shout outs because most of the people who I wanted to thank have been thanked previously. But I'm going to repeat a couple of names. First, a really big thank you again to Rob from NAMI, Utah. As part of my the fact that I live close, and so I'm kind of logistics, or at least logistics manager, logistics helper, is figuring out how to get all of the stuff that we use from the storage unit, which is about 40 miles that way, to here. And some years we just did it ourselves with a U-Haul, and then we were like, no, we're getting too old for this, and asked Rob to help. And so last year and this year, he put together some amazing help. So the beginning of this week, we actually just had professional movers. It was fantastic. Tomorrow, he's showing up with his own U-Haul and a pack of volunteers to help us get it all put away. So big thanks to Rob and everybody who's helped with that. I also get the unenviable job of being the systems engineer and knowing how everything gets put together and how it works, which means sometimes that the week of, we've had a bunch of talk and we've put together documentation, and then suddenly something changes as we're setting up. And so I want to give a big thank you to our role coordinators and all the volunteers who are willing to be flexible and to roll with those punches and to pick up whatever weird new thing has changed since we actually did the documentation and the orientations, and just keep going with it. So big thank you to everyone who's done that. And lastly, kind of a personal thing, I've had a lot of fun this week and just taking pictures of everything and sharing those around. And so I want to thank anybody who has contributed to that Google photo album. There's some wonderful pictures there. I want to thank the people who have looked at it and enjoyed the pictures there. Big thanks to the social media team for kind of going through. I'll be honest, I just take a bunch of pictures and dump them up there and be like, hey, here they are. And then social media team actually looks and finds the good ones and then makes tweets about them. So big thanks to them and those who did that. And that'll wrap it up for me. Thank you very much.
Any other staff testimonials? No? And we'll move on to Vizikun is the first one I have on the list. Would like to come up and say a few words?
Need to be looking right here? Okay. Oh, hi, everyone. Your friendly neighborhood Vizikun. I've been coming to this event fairly regularly for the past several years. I guess what I wanted to mention today was a couple things. First of all, just how much this community means to me. I was texting some of my friends back home, some of my coworkers, and talking about how rough it was going to be to go back home, not just because I've got to go back to my job, but also because in no other community have I ever felt so welcomed and so beloved. Sometimes the idea that people are excited to see me is very strange and novel, which is kind of screwed up when you think about it. But I really have never met a more welcoming and kind group of people than the RPG Limit Break community. And the other thing I wanted to mention, because for the past few weeks, for Mental Health Awareness Month, I've been writing some articles for my place of work from a more human, less sanitized corporate perspective about ways to look after your mental health and what mental health actually is. And the final article I wrote, which was the most difficult, was about being kind to yourself. I've been in therapy and various kinds of mental health treatment for over 18 years, and I've learned a lot of skills in that time, and one of the ones that I still have the most trouble with is being kind to myself. I talk to myself in ways I would never speak to another person certainly not my friends, not even people that I don't like. And it's difficult to really come to terms why I'm like that. And I'm not really here to diagnose or dissect those reasons, but for whoever needs to hear this, it's okay. You can be nice to yourself. You really can. And the funny thing that happens when you start that is the wounds start to close up and you can start to heal.
Next, we got RP Priya. Priya?
Right here. Okay. Hi. So, something new I tried to do this year is write down my thoughts in the private practice room before coming here. However, I really needed a nap and I wasn't able to. And then my brain decided to stop working, so we'll see how this goes. I guess kind of going on what Rizu said. I'm also trying to be like kinder to myself, and sorry. One way I have is just coming here and, you know, I talked about belonging last time, and I just kind of accepted that I just feel that way, you know, and it's been pretty freeing in a way, because then I don't expect anybody to accept me in any particular way, and then I can just relax and hang out with, you know, whoever and try to reach out as much as possible. I have, you know, I saw a lot of limitations about that, like, but because it's just the social stuff is hard, I guess. Honestly, it's just great to, you know, some people reached out to me, specifically Katuria, who isn't going to be here because of reasons I don't know, I guess I won't say, but he'll probably be all right. He's, you know, he's getting taken care of, that's for sure. In large part thanks to his great roommate, Flower, as well. So, and I don't know, I was just grateful for CC being so friendly to me, and he was my roommate this week, and just, you know, it's I don't often get treated like I'm a human, kind of also what Rizu was saying, at home. But, you know, yeah, like I said, like I had a whole bunch of thoughts, but I didn't have time to put them together, but I just, grateful to be here, and honestly, I understand like 100% what Heroic Spirit Gamer said. Yes, can't come back to Utah, too unpredictable on the politics. I agree. However, not everyone in the state feels that way. And there's people that, we're very passionate people, whether it's, the conservative side or the liberal side. And I have faith that we will fight such a disgusting bill. And, and I think it will get overturned. So just on the track record, especially when it came to getting gay marriage in Utah as well. Honestly, I thought we would be the last state to get it, and we really weren't. So, but I do 100% understand. And honestly, and it sucks to be in a state that is like this, like, there's this trans person I watch on TikTok. She teaches how to do little home improvement things around the house or your apartment. And she went on a book tour, and she made sure to go to places that aren't trans friendly. And because she grew up in those places as well, and she knows that they need that validation that they're okay. And I'm not saying that's RPG Limit Break's responsibility at all, but just that to, reiterate my point that we're passionate people. We don't like that kind of thing. And it's like the politicians. Like, I remember a few years ago, everybody voted to legalize marijuana here. And then the Mormon legislators or whatever completely turned that bill into like just medical, and then like this weird little cube thing. And I was like, what the heck? Like, we said we wanted it legalized just flat out, and that's what it said, but no. So, I don't know. So for those out there in states that are less accepting, I understand it. I grew up in it. I actually convinced myself when I was younger, or the church I grew up in told me that I should choose to not be gay because God did not want me to be. And it wasn't until I was like 20 that I'm like, oh wow, it's not a choice. I can't just decide that, which the church is getting better about understanding that, but still. Anyway, hopefully, yeah, good things to come, and I've really felt that this year, so, honestly, I feel a lot of love in my heart for all of you right now, and I'm grateful that you didn't decide to cancel this year, and, yeah, so that's all, I guess.
Thank you. Next up, we have AG Deeds.
Hi, everybody. I'm AG Deeds, or Silver Deeds. You can call me Silver or Deeds or whatever you want. So I'm here. This is my third year here at RPG Limit Break. And every year I've kind of had an emotional support mascot. So I'm here to explain to you guys that this year my mascot was Alpha of Ironworks, because for all the I'm also Utah native, and you've already kind of heard everyone say we're not gonna come back here. So this year I decided, when the volunteer forms went out, I was just gonna go all out. I signed up for basically everything, and I was like, I'll work it. Like, I'll do overnights. I'll do whatever you want. I want to help because I don't know in the future how much I can do that, depending on where we end up going. I mean, I'm going to be here no matter what, but I can't guarantee I'll be the full week. So I wanted to go all out, which meant I had to do tech shifts for the first time this year. So yeah, that's why my Ironworks Alpha was my buddy for that. So just a quick, thanks for letting me do tech for the first time this year. Special shout outs to Sid and Asherin or Sid for the interview shift that it turned out I kind of was a guinea pig shift for a changeover for that. So that was a fun time. And yeah, Ashen, because for some reason, and this happened last year, where like you just happen to have all of my like newbie shifts. So thanks for dealing with all of that so that all the other producers can have, smooth sailing with me. But anyway, yeah, so that's that. Yeah, so everyone please volunteer. I know we had a lot of really cool off-site volunteers this year. Just help any way you can. This has been the best thing I've ever chosen to do. It's such a great community. This year has just been super overwhelming with, it's just like really kind of getting to really know people this year after like being familiar with them the last 2 years. So that's been really amazing. So this is a very welcoming community. So please reach out. And if you're struggling, there's a lot of resources here for you. And yeah, I think that's everything I want to, special shout out to Azala, who was kind of my event buddy this year that I convinced to come along, and I'm very grateful for you to be coming. So yeah, that's all I have to say. Thanks, guys.
Next is AK Dial.
Hey, thanks to RPG Limit Break staff and all of those who welcomed me and let me hang out this week. I just wanted to give a few words about my journey over time. I'd say the world's not perfect and little is close about it. Grappling with this and my own personal struggles led to my own depression 20 years ago, and that's a struggle that I overcame, but it's something, my wellness I still have to manage, week after week, month after month, because even the last 3 years have been still pretty rough and full of regret and just lots of bad things happening still. One of the hardest things about it, though, is just knowing how to talk about it and being trapped in negativity, assumptions, and just feeling uncomfortable about saying anything. But I say it is okay to talk. You're always going to be your best advocate, but you do not have to do everything alone. If you need to, reach out to your family, to your friends, or if you need be, perhaps the NAMI helpline. Other resources are available. As hard as speaking about it as it is, I have not regretted in taking a step rather than in sitting in resignation. The world's problems won't be fixed in a day. We just have to do what we can to improve things little by little. For my part, I want to reinforce the spirit of positivity. To all, be just a little bit more patient and understanding. Don't assume the worst in others. Be humble and forgiving. Be open to new ideas, trying new things, meeting new people, and never give up on the idea of a better world. Even I can do it, so can you.
Next we have Creative Ely.
Hey guys, it's Ellie. I'm not the greatest speaker, so just jotted my notes and thoughts on my phone to help me out. Just wanted to give a quick message. First of all, thank you to RPG Limit Break, a group of awesome people banding together to raise money for NAMI. It is truly inspiring to see people share their talents, devote their time to support mental illness. So thank you also to the people out there supporting the cause, whether it be through your generosity or spreading the word. This is an event that everyone here looks forward to. every year. And as a speedrunner, just wanted to give you like a perspective, like my favorite aspect. And it truly, about this hobby, it truly is the community. So it's the people banding together to, break their favorite game, sharing their knowledge, supporting other runners. It's amazing to see like other people support other runners or their aspiration, their goals. So like seeing notes or strategies being discussed on like Discord or Twitch chat, or like seeing, hey, GG, awesome run, GG on your PB. Just wanted to close my message with this, and it kind of echoes with what people have said right before me. I do think people miss how impactful, consistent, small acts of kindness and generosity can be. We shrug them off as insignificant amidst the world of grand palms, but those little actions every day and are how we can affect tens of thousands of other people as an individual across one lifetime. Most of us won't be the hero who solves the world's crisis, but we all have the capacity to make the lives of those around us a little bit better. And that matters. Arguably, it does matter more. So just want to thank everybody. That's all. Thank you.
Finally, we had Some Diener.
Hi, everyone. My name is Some Diener. Once again, I had a total blast here at RPG Limit Break, like I always do, and I want to express my sincerest appreciation to all the event staff for the tireless work they put in to make this event so special. I spent some time this week thinking about what I wanted to share. I got this shirt at a previous RPG Limit Break. I can't remember which one, but it's from NAMI, and it says stigma-free. And then this year on the opening pre-show, Rob from NAMI talked about stigma surrounding mental illness. So that's what I wanted to share a little bit about. You see, back in my early 20s, I was struggling a lot in my life. My parents, bless their souls, they were rightly concerned about me, and they tried to get me help. I had some evaluations, and soon I started seeing a psychiatrist. I had weekly therapy sessions, and for a time was prescribed some medications to help me. But while I was going through all this, I tried to keep it a secret from everyone else. I wouldn't talk to my friends about it. I'd have appointments, but I wouldn't tell them where I was going. Oh, just that I have something to go do for a couple of hours, being as deliberately vague about it as possible. In thinking back about it, I think it was because I was embarrassed. I didn't want my friends to somehow think I was weak. I didn't want anyone else to know that I was struggling. And it's probably because it also meant admitting that to myself. I refused to talk about it at all. But it wasn't because my friends had some negative attitudes about mental health problems. It was because of my own negative attitudes about mental health problems. Now, the good news is that I've come a long way in my life. I've reached a place where I'm much more comfortable with who I am, reached some stability in my life, personally and financially, and I'm just genuinely happy and hopeful for the future. But I've also reached a point where I'm much more comfortable talking about my experiences too. Those same friends I've had then, I'm still close with them now. I'm okay sharing what that time of my life was like. And they've completely accepted that part of me. Whether any of them truly knows how much that means to me, well, I'm gonna say it right now. You all are awesome, incredible people that I'm so proud to know. I realize now that there was never a reason to hide. There was never a reason to be embarrassed. My friends and family would have been concerned, sure, but also that they would have been supportive, that they'd be happy to know that I was trying. So I'm not afraid of that anymore. Once in my life, afraid of the stigma of my mental health struggles, I tried desperately to hide it, even from the people who love me. Now, I'm not scared. I can stand in front of this camera and tell the whole world my story without any shame. So that's the message I wanted to spread today. Everyone goes through tough times in their life, and when you have to face those challenges, it's okay to ask for help. And since this whole event is RPG themed, I have one more message. It's one of my favorite scenes from Final Fantasy IX. It's towards the end of the game. Zidane, who has gone out of his way to help everyone he meets in the story, is really struggling. And one by one, his friends show up, encourage him, Stand beside him as he puts one foot in front of the other. And the stirring song that plays in the scene, it's called You Are Not Alone. You are not alone. Thank you.
All right. So that's everyone that we have for the general content list. We'll send it back over to the interviewers, the hosts.
All right, esteemed Ham, thank you so much for that. You know, I always love hearing these testimonials, people being, you know, and some people, you know, we see a lot of people with their phones. Sometimes getting up in front of the camera is hard, just to talk about anything. But then just to be talking about that, which is just so personal and can be very heavy. I mean, I'm really proud of all the people that we just heard speak, because, you know, for a lot of them, it's not easy. But you know, sometimes dealing with mental illness and dealing with, as you kind of, you know, reconcile with that, that's not easy either, you know, and you heard some people talk just about that. So again, thank you so much to all of you that did speak there. We are going to have some more people that will speak, and like I said, we're getting that set up now. But while we're doing that, I wanted to ask you, and May, I'll start with you. As far as the week that was for RPG Limit Break 2024, what would you say was your biggest takeaway, or the biggest highlight for you?
Well, I mean, the way I feel about this event is the way I feel about so much in speedrunning is it's so amazing to watch so much of the community come together for a good cause.
Yeah.
The fact that everybody here is volunteering their time.
Absolutely.
In order to just give back. It is my favorite part of the speedrunning community is that it's so baked in to the culture of speedrunning at this point. And it's why I'm happy to be here. And really proud to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. What about you?
I'm going to be a little bit of a cheaty face. I got to spend the week with my fiance, which I don't get to do very often.
Yeah.
So.
Hey. No, that's totally valid. Absolutely.
On a less personal note, it also is just fun just to spend time with everybody, you know, hanging out behind the scenes. We have the back room. We call it the puzzle room affectionately, because there's just a wall of puzzles that are being completed at any given time. Anything from that to hearing Heroic Spirit Gamer yelling at people while playing Blood on the Clock Tower, and the entire room is just yelling at each other in a total mess. You see 3 people darting out of the room, and HSG's just holding his head in his hands I was just about to start the end of the day. You've got to be kidding me right now. There's no way.
That's great. Yeah. You know, and for me, and May, you touched on a lot of what I was going to say about the fact that it's volunteer work, that everybody is coming here of their own volition. Nobody's getting paid. Nobody's getting compensated. Really the compensation is the doing good.
Yeah.
Is the personal feeling, what makes it personally rewarding to help those that are in need. But for me, I think the best thing about coming here year after year after year is in the community, the excitement.
Yeah.
The people that are they've been waiting for an entire year to come here and get together with the community of people that they know and love and that accept them and care for them and whatnot. And just everybody just being so happy to be here, just so excited to be part of something as big as what RPG Limit Break is. It's just kind of that energy that just permeates everything that we do here. And there's no way to really, if you've never felt anything with it, it's tough to put into words. It's something that, if you enjoy what we do here, if you would like to be a part of this community, by all means, Von Yvonne is inviting you personally to RPG Limit Break. Come and be a part of what we do. It's such an accepting community. People here are just so happy and excited to just, with everything that we do here, from the volunteer work to the, like you said, to the puzzle room, to doing the runs and everything.
The thing is, people don't realize is the stream really is a very small part almost of what we do.
Yeah,
and don't get me wrong. The charity aspect of it and everything else is the most important thing. It's what brings the event together.
Yeah.
But it is not the only thing at the event.
Not
by a mile.
It's just one lens of the greater RPG Limit Break experience.
No, I walked out this morning out of my hotel room. I got breakfast. I walked down. I see 9 people playing Final Fantasy IV on CRTs, trying to get through the beginning of that game as quickly as possible. Then in the next room, in the private practice room, hanging out with my fiance while she's getting ready for her run, and I just hear constant yelling from the room next to me as people are finishing up.
Yeah.
Everybody's all excited, cheering for each other. And this is just one day. And it's, you might say well, that's just special. It's the last day. People didn't. No, that's just every day here. Like I said, it's just it's such a unique environment, and I think the stream captures some of it, but it really doesn't capture all of it. I think like it really is, something you need to experience for yourself if you're at all interested. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Alrighty. Well, folks, I think we've got everything set up here. So I'm going to toss it back on over there.
Real quick. If you are in streams, this is a section that may be content sensitive.
Yeah.
If you do not feel comfortable listening to this for any reason, feel free to leave in for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But.
Now, you've probably heard us talking about the first person that you're going to be hearing from right now is somebody that you have heard us talking about all week long. It's someone that is near and dear to our hearts, someone who couldn't be here, but is just woven into the very fabric of RPG Limit Break, and that is Bob the Ninja Goldfish. He's going to have some words for you. He's going to have a message. So everybody at home, acknowledge your tribal chief.
RPG Limit Break, acknowledge me. Okay, I've committed to the wrestling bit all week. Apparently, since I did that big wrestling intro for Sid a few years ago, that's now become my thing. To the tech crew, is there any way I can hear the room? That would be great. Thank you. Surprise, I guess, since I've not been on stream. It is your volunteer director. It's great to see you all. I'm going to go on a few tangents here. The reason I asked to be put in the more content sensitive thing is I wanted to bring a bit of stuff. So many people have asked me this week why I'm not in attendance. So starting about a month after last year's event, for those of you who don't know, a few people got real unwell, and I was one of them, which compounded with my physical disabilities really sent my body into a downward spiral. This has been the toughest year of my, as of last Friday, 46 years on this earth. In January, I found out that I would be having surgery in April. And that was enough for me to say I really can't be on site this year. But it wasn't until about a month before the actual surgery that I found out that my surgery was going to be 7 days before the volunteer schedule was due to come out. Which, as the volunteer director, not a good thing, because I need to be working. But yeah, I just wanted to let everyone know I'm okay. Am I better than I was last year? No. But this has gone some ways to repairing the damage that happened over the last 12 months. There have been so many other staff members that have thanked each other and the role coordinators and things, but I really could not have done this without this being a team effort. There's so many knobs and dials and switches and checks and balances that goes into a schedule for volunteers that has, I think at last check, 15 different departments and some 100 volunteers over the course of a week. I want to say to all my volunteers, you simultaneously make me the happiest man on earth and frustrate me intensely. But and it's that good kind of frustration where I can see that you all care about what's going on. And sometimes I've just got to keep poking you with a stick just to make you go in the right direction. I love you all. It's been amazing. The next direction I want to go into is could I have the tech turn the crowd cam back on, please? For a moment. This week's been tough. Real tough not being on site. But it wasn't until I saw this picture with so many people I care about, especially Psyduck in the back, and my proxy whale lord. But in all seriousness, it wasn't until I saw this that I just you know, you're making it really hard. Oh my God. It wasn't until I saw this picture that I realized what a hole in my heart not being on site with you all has left. There is a reason that my sign-off for whatever I do became be excellent to each other. And it's because of the experiences I had at Limit Break. From the very first time I was on site and I bawled in the finale, to the increasing levels of trust that the staff were putting in me, that, quite frankly, at the time I couldn't put in myself. The faith they showed in me kept me going at times. If we can just come back to the camera for one last minute. I thought I saw them there earlier, but Grimora, I'm been drinking out of your coffee mug all week. And just to so many of the people in the chat that have been so positive whenever I've been hosting, to everyone that made any donation to name anything after me, that is an experience like unlike anything else, especially when you're off doing, like, there was a moment where I was off getting my dressings cleaned on my surgery, and I started getting all these pings on Discord, and I come back and I'm like, why am I getting so many pings in Discord? And someone's like, oh, you're an Eevee now. And I'm like, I know I've got a good beard, but all jokes aside, thank you all. And if everyone in the crowd would join me by saying, guys, gals, non-binary pals, and all those beyond that spectrum, please be excellent to each other. And party on, my friends. And I'll see you next year.
Thank you, Bob. All right, now we got Keishura coming up to speak.
Hi, y'all. I'm Keishura. I feel like I realized after listening to a lot of people speaking that I probably could have been on the general side, but I wasn't sure, so I played it safe. Anyway, so I just wanted to kind of tell you all my story in like a little nutshell about how I ended up at RPG Limit Break to begin with. Not this year, but in general. And also, in the middle, I'm going to be speaking a little bit of Japanese. I promise I'm not saying anything bad, but I wanted to reach out to our Japanese restream as well, because as some of you may know, I am fluent and I lived there for quite a while. And anyway, let me talk. So in 2016, it was about a week or so after RPG Limit Break ended that year. I'm sorry, I'm already crying, so maybe it's fine I'm here. I broke under the stress of burnout from working too hard. Japan did not, and probably still doesn't, have a great mental health care system. It was scary. I would cry frequently, even if I wasn't sad. And I didn't have a good place to turn to learn about what was happening to me, because there was no... I got treated with medicine and not information about how to take care of myself. Poexel had just happened to start streaming multiple times in the week shortly after that, and it was during those streams that I could stop crying and feel some joy. So, thank you. Oh. Yeah, so it was around that time that I ended up also starting to speedrun and kind of fell into this community, which I cannot appreciate enough, and that's definitely to this one's influence. Thank you, Adam. I want to specifically shout out some people in my life who are pillars for me. One of those people is Yagamoth. Thank you. Adam, of course. The RPG Valkyries. Autumn and Rosetta, thank you for always being there for me. Okay. And now I have a quick similar content message for our Japanese restream. Japanese restream の皆さんへのメッセージです。日本では 精神病についての健康を話さない主義があり、精神病どころかストレスが健康をどう影響するのかあまり話さない。私が日本で精神病にかかり、その時感情整理や収集方法を育つより薬で治そうとした。どうか日本の皆さんへ、辛ければ声を上げてください。あなたは決して壊れてなく悪くもない。あなたはここにいていいんだ。あなたは大切です。For everybody listening, you're not broken. You're not wrong. You're allowed to be here and feel how you do. You are important and you are valid. Thank you for being here.
Next up is I Go the Blue.
Hi, I'm Aiko. I'm the girl who wears all blue and has the fun blue lights. This is my first time at RPGLB. It's been a really interesting and fun experience. And I'm here because I wanted to say a few words about grief. 8 months and 25 days ago, or no, sorry, 8 months and 2 days ago, I found I lost a friend, someone I was really close to. And since then, I've been doing my best to figure out what that means and how to keep being a person and how to keep living when she's not here anymore. And it means a lot of things. It's important to talk to people, to lean on people when you're struggling, and this is new and exciting kind of struggle for me. I don't recommend it to anyone, but it will happen to people, and I'm sorry. And another thing that it's meant for me is keeping her memory alive, doing the kinds of things she would have wanted done in the world. Mari was one of the kindest people I've met. She was really good at reaching out to strangers and complimenting them. And if I have complimented you this week or you have ever seen me do that, part of that was her. I had other stuff, but I don't really know how to wrap it up besides saying it does get better. You do grow around it, and at the same time, it doesn't really get all better. It's always still a little bit of a hole there, and I'm sorry.
Finally, we had the Royal Plutonian.
This is awesome. I get the cool yellow one. All right. This has been my first year at RPG Limit Break, and so I thought I could share some experiences that I had while I was here. For starters, I don't know all of you that much, but from what I've seen, you are a very caring, a very loving, and a very kind community. So far, it has been a very quick year for me, at least from what I've experienced, and to be able to just take a little reprieve from the cares of the world has been very, very needed. As a lot of you have been going through, I have been going through some of my own struggles, so much so that it has turned into physical ones. And though I haven't been able to navigate it completely yet, I am so very thankful that there are those who are able to help me in that regard. Especially with Nami, for as long as I have known that one of the people that has been going here regularly and helping out, Nami wasn't really something at the front of my mind. And so to be here and to be able to experience the love and kindness that people have shown, it has really, in a sense, opened up a lot of new avenues for me to attempt to go through to get the help that I need. And I hope that a lot of you who have maybe not the similar, but mental struggles can, in essence, be able to find your own support group, your own people, in essence, to help you through your cares and your worries of the world. So, thank you.
That's all we have on the list, so we'll send it back to Vanny Van and Corvime and Ghoul.
Alrighty, thank you, steamed hams. Again, like we said before, it's great to hear. I mean, it's real difficult, but to have these people have the forum to be able to share that, I think is just, first of all, it's a testament to them to show that kind of strength. And that's exactly what it is. It's strength. You heard people talk about weakness, and it's not that. It does show a lot of fortitude to be able to do that. But also, I mean, that's what this community is all about. It is, this community absolutely allows that to be a thing,
Thank you to every one of you who
Yes.
spoke.
Yes, indeed. Well, I tell you what, folks, unfortunately, the show must come to an end at some point, and that's where we've arrived. So RPG Limit Break 2024 was a fantastic week. It was a lot of fun. It was very exciting, and it was also a rousing success. I'm looking here at the donation. We even had a few donations come in after all the speed runs are over. Final total I'm looking at here, $88,175, and every single dime of that money is going directly to the National Alliance on Mental Illness. One thing I wanted to point out, I can see a chat window here for both Twitch and YouTube, and I was reading it as these testimonies were coming in, and all the support from the greater community. Obviously, we talk about what's going on here, but for those watching at home and everyone out there, so many hearts in chat, claps, support, love, everything like that. It's just, it's the reach is everywhere, and it means a lot. And so thank you all so much for watching, donating, and being a part of what we do. But if you do enjoy what we do here at Limit Break, even though this yearly event is over, we talk about, and obviously this is something that's near and dear to your heart, the side quests, the podcasts, the random encounters. There, we run tournaments and for randomizers and all kinds of things. We've got the Final Fantasy Relay that's going to be coming up in a few months. So I mean, there's still all kinds of great content on this channel. So if you want to get your RPG Limit Break fix, you've got plenty of opportunities. It does not end here. It does not end here. So, but unfortunately, this event does end here. So, on behalf of Corvime, Ghoul02, on behalf of all of the staff and attendees and volunteers here, thank you so much. My name is Vonnie Vaughn. I am so happy to be able to not only, kick this off, but also wrap it up here. But you know what? I mean, the party's still going on. We've still got a whole bunch of viewers here. Why don't we go raid a member of our community and bring that love to them? How does that sound? Yeah? All right. So we are going to be raiding the LCC. Be sure to give them plenty of love on behalf of RPG Limit Break. Again, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for donating. And until we see you again, take care, everyone.